Dr. Devin. I got a little something inside of me. And I've been sitting with it. And I've been feeling it. And I want to talk about it today. So my friend Oscar the Grouch trash can and a little old piece of blue rock. And I want to talk to you today about rage. I want to share from the book Untamed. Ladies, if you haven't read it, Glennon, from the bottom of my soul and every piece of the tattered heart that went into the pages with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But there was this piece in Erica's. For 20 years, I was attached to a hairdryer and a straightener trying to tame my curls. Then I quit and my hair was good. I binged and purged and dieted for decades trying to control my body. When I quit, my body became what it was always meant to become. And it was good too. I numbed myself with food and booze trying to control my anger. When I quit, I learned that my anger was never meant that there was something wrong with me. I learned that my anger never meant that there was something wrong with me. It meant that there was something wrong out there. Something I might have the power to change. I stopped being a quiet peacekeeper and started being a loud peacemaker. My anger was good. I had been deceived. The only thing that was ever wrong with me was my belief that there was something wrong with me. I quit spending my life trying to control myself and began to trust myself. We only control what we don't trust. We can either control ourselves or love ourselves, but we can't do both. Love is the opposite of control. Love demands trust. I love myself now. Self-love means that I have a relationship with myself built on trust and loyalty. I trust myself to have my own back, so my allegiance is to the voice within. I'll abandon everyone else's expectations of me before I'll abandon myself. I'll disappoint everyone else before I disappoint myself. I'll forsake all others before I forsake myself. Me and myself, we are until death do us part. What the world needs is more women who have quit fearing themselves and started trusting themselves. What the world needs is masses of women who are entirely out of control. Anger and rage. I'm a chiropractor. My job as I stand by a table is to see another human being who lays before me and has aches and pains and symptoms and disease. And my job is to find the areas in their system where there could be more connection, more ease. Now, the triggers of these subluxations that chiropractors go to find can be physical, they can be chemical, and they can be emotional. So why am I talking about anger? Because there is a lot of anger and there are a lot of people walking around. I'm fine, I'm good, I'm doing as good as I can, I'm fine, I'm really fine. I'm so fine that the entire world's upside down. I'm fine that I was told that I was non-essential and out of a job and it may come back this fall. I'm fine that my kids' school may never look the same. I'm fine that sports were taken and now they're back and then they might go away. I'm fine that there may be this forced vaccination. I'm fine that I don't know whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask and whether it's good for my health or somebody else's health. And if I wear them, I'm being a good citizen. But if I'm wearing it, I'm being oppressed. I don't know where the real media is or if it's all fake. I don't know who the leader is. I don't know where these rules are coming from. I don't know why it's different from state to state. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but I'm fine. I'm so fine. And then as we lock all these fines inside our system because we do have to get through the next day, we cover up these things and we just keep going forward. You've got to acknowledge these things you feel. And maybe it's not anger and rage for you. Maybe it's sadness. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's worry, doubt. But you got to see them. You got to acknowledge it. Where does that come from? Take responsibility. That's mine. Yes, there's a whole world going out there, but my reaction is this emotion. And if I'm overcome by this emotion, it blurs my vision and I can't do anything about it. And I choose to be a problem solver. I choose to be a peacemaker. I do not just comply for the sake of compliance. I want to understand this world that I'm living in. I want to make empowered and educated, powerful decisions. I acknowledge what's going on inside of me. I take responsibility for what is mine. I listen and I give it a voice, whether it's with something like this and smashing, transmuting that emotion out of me with sacred anger work, screaming into a pillow, calling a friend, exercising, journaling, meditating. There are many, many ways to transmute these emotions, but first you must acknowledge that they're there in the first place. We've got to, in order to heal, in order to learn, we've got to acknowledge what's going on inside our systems. We can't stack fine on top of not fine. It won't work. It's not sustainable, and the house of cards will fall. It's time to lean in. This is individual emotions. This is collective emotions. This is generational emotions coming out. Like 2020 will be a year I remember as the year the Band-Aid got ripped off of all of our wounds and the shadows came up and we had to look at all of our stuff. And if we choose not to look at it, if we choose to suppress it down, we will literally, I believe, create our own hell here on earth. But if we will look at it, if we will dust it off, if we will have the conversations, if we will look at why are we in this rush to return to normal that wasn't working before? We're grieving systems that are falling apart that were not supporting us. So let's talk about it. What do we want if we can create anything? What do we want healthcare to look like? What do we want school systems to look like? What do we want the government to look like? And what are you going to do about it? Where do you fit in all of this? We acknowledge it. We take responsibility for it. We listen. We give it a voice. We learn. We begin to adapt. And in the adaptation comes growth. And in the growth comes transformation. 2020 is our year, but it's our year as we feel into it and we go into those spaces. I can't stack fine on top of not fine. I will not suppress this thing inside of me. I will find ways. This little case of Blue Rock at Walmart is nothing. It's pennies on the dollar to what it means to get rage out of me. And as I get some of that emotion, then I can see clearly the anger doesn't go away, but I can lean into that anger and go, what is it? What is it, Devin? That anger is trying to protect something. They call me the Hulk, and I thought my power was in the anger, but it's underneath the anger. The power lies in being able to transmute and navigate through the anger, through the rage, through the guilt, through the shame, through the fear. What is it that I'm trying to cover up? What needs healing inside of me? What needs healing out there? Let's have this conversation. Maybe it's just me, but maybe it's not. And if this spoke to you, talk to me in these comments. Get to know me. Tell me who you are. Tell me what you need. Together we rise. I love you. I love you. I'm betting on us. I'm betting on us. 2020 is our year. It came in hot and we're going to finish it strong.